As we get close to the end of the year, we wanted to give you a behind-the-scenes look at what actually happens when a new Tetris order comes in. Most people know Tetris for its performance, but very few ever see the operation behind it. The coordination, the testing, and the hands-on craftsmanship that goes into every unit we ship. Right now is the perfect snapshot of that process. The last few months of the year are always our busiest, and 2025 brought unprecedented momentum for our team in the relaunch of TETRAS. This week, we're in the final testing stages of a TETRAS heading to Nashville, Tennessee. At the same time, we're breaking down a previously owned unit for full refurbishment, and we're deep into the build process of another TETRAS that needs to be on a plane to China before year end. 3 different configurations, 3 different purposes, all moving in parallel. And that's not even counting the PM trips we're coordinating on top of it. In this video, we're going to pop the hood in our operation and show you exactly how we manage new builds, refurbs, and final testing all at the same time, and why this workflow is a big part of what sets TETRAS apart.
Hello, I'm Joe Goatley. I am TETRAS team lead. We start our week every Monday with our TETRAS team meeting. It's the time that we get everything together and see what's going on and start making our lineups for the week. We go over every build, test, and task that needs to be done for the week. We talk about what needs to be done first, what can wait, and what's more critical. Sometimes we have to shift our schedule around, split off into smaller teams so that we can get more things done. This meeting helps to make sure that everybody's on the same page to make sure things get done in an orderly fashion. We also get updates from our business development and updates on our R&D projects. This helps us to know what's coming, what's going right, and what needs to be pushed back onto task. For this week, we talked about the new TETRAS. One of the tasks that we have to do quickly because it was asked to be expedited. And since it's so close to the holiday, it's very critical. Our timeline has to be concise. Additionally, we also have a refurbished TETRAS that's going to be going to Nashville. So we have to balance both those TETRASes. The Nashville TETRAS is a refurbished TETRAS that came in earlier on, and we broke it down, rebuilt it, and was getting it ready, and now it's in the testing phase before it goes out to Nashville. We also, in addition, have PM trips that will be coming up. So we have 1 PM trip that will be coming up in December. Due to this, we have to make sure we're all on the same page and get everything scheduled.
Hi, my name is Matt Pfeiffer, and I manage the business development for the TETRAS peptide synthesizer. A big part of my role leading business development for the TETRAS is making sure that I'm reflecting accurately to the team what new, prospective, and existing users are telling us. Q4 in particular tends to be our busy time of the year as it pertains to new installations and new builds. So 2025 was no exception. So this week we've got a lot going on, a refurbished unit that came in that needs to be broken down and rebuilt. We receive a lot of interest in those units, so making sure that we're staying on time with those to reduce that turnaround time is key, as well as building a TETRAS, completing a build on a TETRAS for a user in China that has a pretty strict requirement to have this shipped before the end of the year. And then finally wrapping up testing for the TETRAS going to Nashville. It's a refurbished unit. We take them through the same QA and QC standards as new units, and they also carry that same 1-year warranty. So a lot of orchestration, a lot of different moving parts, but Joe and Orion do a fantastic job making sure that I can go out into the field and achieve great turnaround times, as well as quality peptide synthesizers for our customers.
So I am testing this TETRAS here. This is a refurb that will be going to a new customer in Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm performing quality checks on it right now before it gets sent out. And our TETRASes, new and refurb, go through the same quality checks to ensure that they will be perfect for our customers. Right now this is reaching the end of its quality checks, and we're doing a test, which is about a week-long run that will test every single feature of the TETRAS continuously to ensure reliability and quality before we send it out to a new customer.
So we have this TETRAS that we have reached decent part to start to be able to test. We had to expedite it to get it this far because the customer needed it at the beginning of next year. We have added extra resources and allocated extra personnel to help getting it done faster. Currently, the main body has been built. The next step is building the stations and then performing all our tests in order to get it out at the beginning of next year. Another aspect that we have to keep track of is the turnaround time. So due to corresponding and having multiple TETRAS being built or multiple RMA work, we have to be sure that we assign our time efficiently. For another example, being that we're close to the end of the year and this was required so quickly, we have to be able to allocate on the fly in order to speed up the build time as much as we can.
This is another refurb that we have. Our refurbs are completely broken down, cleaned. Every part of them is tested before it's put back together. And this refurb we are adding heating to. It didn't originally have heating, but we're adding heating to it. And it's almost ready.
Most teams only interact with lab equipment when it's sitting in their lab and running their chemistry. They never see the build room, the testing stations, the breakdown tables, or the whiteboard full of schedules that change every week. But this is how every TETRAS begins. A new build, a rebuild, a final test, all happening at the same time, all connected, all depending upon communication between our team and our users. When a unit leaves here, whether it's going to Nashville, Beijing, or a lab getting a refurbished system, it represents weeks of hands-on work, wiring, assembly, testing, retesting, coordination, and dozens of small decisions no one ever sees. That's what makes TETRAS reliable. It's not just the hardware or the chemistry, it's the process and the people behind it. As we wrap up the year, we're proud of the growth and the momentum we're carrying into next year, and we can't wait to show you more of what goes into TETRAS. Stay tuned in the coming weeks as we'll be highlighting our trip to Nashville and our annual PM trip to Indianapolis.